guys, Jan here, and welcome to one of our long format content which we call The Talk. And in this content, basically it's our podcast content, and it's basically just a group of friends, a group of colleagues talking about their work experience or their experience in the world of outsourcing, their experience in job hunting, their experience in their own career growth. Know that the items that they are discussing, the opinions that they have is also limited to their own experience, and this does not mean that their experience is better than other people's experience. Definitely they have acquired all these experiences, and each experience is specific to each individual. So if you have not experienced this, if you have a different opinion from what they're saying, know that your opinion can also be right? There's necessarily no right or wrong in this one. There's no better opinion. It's just them sharing their own experiences, and if your opinion is different from what they are sharing, know that it's okay. It's all right. It doesn't mean that they have a better life or professional experience than yours. It just basically means that they have experienced career and professional growth differently than how you have experienced it. And with that, guys, thank you again, and let's go ahead with the video. Hey guys, Jan here again from HuStrat Human Strategies, and welcome to our long format content. This is basically our podcast, and essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about a bunch of random things related to professional growth, personal growth, and whatnot. So I do have like my friends here with me, CJ and Carl, and essentially right now what we're gonna talk about is the big shift. Right? We call this the big shift because it's the time wherein we shifted from corporate office-based jobs to freelance home base. It definitely was an endeavor. It definitely was a challenge. So we're here to talk about that, and hopefully you can relate, or if you're someone who may be thinking of shifting from an office-based corporate environment to a freelance type of setup, this may be the video for you. All right. So I guess our guests can introduce themselves. So there.
Yeah, hi guys. My name is Clay, and I work as a research and development liaison.
Yon. How about the other? How about you, CJ?
Hi, hello everyone. My name is CJ, and I am from Iloilo. And I also work as a customer care representative.
There you
Yep.
go. So yun po. Medyo nahiya-hiya pa yung sila, no? Nahiya-hiya pa yun sila. How about you, Kay? Taga saan ka nga, Kay?
Hi. Sorry pala. I didn't tell you about where I came from. So I came from General Santos City.
Ilang taon ka na, Kay?
Yeah, I'm 24 years old.
24 years old. So yun, right? So we have someone 24 years old. We also have someone who's experience in life, no, so to speak, more experience in life. And yes, for those who have been following the channel, I'm Jan. I'm originally from Bacolod, and I'm currently residing here in Manila, in Makati. So there. So first off, I think one of the things that we kailangan nating i-discuss is yung primary motivation natin, no, kung bakit tayo nagtatrabaho. No? So, kayo guys, ano yung like very primary motivation nyo kung bakit kayo nagtatrabaho? Why do you wake up um, at night? And like, what's the reason behind it?
I go first.
Yeah.
For my motivation is of course first my family. But as of now, what motivates me is for me to reach my goals in life, which is to become more successful and to build my own business, and like to help my family and friends.
Yun. So, essentially,
Yeah.
family talaga. Family at saka career,
Yes.
ganun. Not bad, no? Not bad. And hashtag the rooster. So, this is what happens po when you have a podcast. So, okay lang yan, right? Hello there, Rooster. Tinola ka mamaya. So, ganun. Yun. So, yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and discuss that, no? How about you, CJ? Like, ano yung, like, parang primary motivation mo talaga to work?
Actually, John, when I started working as a virtual assistant,
Hmm.
the reason bakit ako nagtrabaho is to like libangin ko yung sarili ko kasi I had that really heartbreak nung nawala
Yun.
yung nanay ko. So
Ah,
somehow freelancing, yung virtual work ko, yun yung nagtulong sa akin na bumangon ulit, yung para motivate yourself na eto, magtatrabaho ka, keeping yourself busy. Tapos as well as ma-provide mo yung needs ng mga taong nag-depend sa'yo.
So, it's more on kind of parang ano siya, no? Para bang ano ba to? Like, it's something to pull you away from
From the past.
Gano'n, from like a memory siguro, no? Na gano'n.
Oo. Pero somehow it had led you to self-growth, to parang ang dami ding na-learn sa process.
Got it. Okay. So ako naman, hindi ko alam eh. Actually, hindi ko pa alam if I did not have a choice. But I wanted something more. Parang ganon. There is that void siguro when I was doing corporate na parang yung alam mo yung you're already 30, nasa 30 years old ka na, and then you were asking yourself, parang ito ba talaga yung gagawin ko for the rest of my life? Parang ganon. So, at that point, parang nag-eat, pray, love ako. Parang, ano ba, like, ito ba talaga yung gagawin ko? Tama ba to or what not? So, there, right? And it has actually led me to this right now, to where I am. So, yon. But the primary motivator, siguro, if I can pinpoint some primary motivator, is essentially wanting self-growth. Yon. Wanting self-growth talaga. So, ang next item is like what were you doing before remote freelancing? Ano yung ginagawa niyo before niyo pinasok yung ano na to? Yung industry na to, like freelancing. So, yon. Ano yung ginagawa niyo?
Like, should I go first always every time there's a question?
Sure.
Okay, so for me, I was working in a call center company, and then there's a deep reason bakit hindi na ako nag-work doon. But it started when the pandemic thing happened. So that was April last year, 2020, and then what happened is I studied remote freelancing, and then by May I got my first client. So that's what I'm doing before doing remote freelancing.
Okay. So before by May, got it. So like ano yung una mong ginawa in freelancing, ganun?
Like my first task, ganun.
Like pag shift mo, ano yung line of business na freelancing?
Okay, so I started as a chat support and transcribing.
Okay. That's one thing, no? How about you, Sage? Ano yung ginagawa mo before ka nag-shift to freelance?
Before dyan, and currently, until now, I am into public service. So, nagsaserve ako sa barangay namin as kagawad. And then, aside from that, medyo minsan nagbe-business din. Ganon, yung mga extra income. Kasi pag nasa public service ka, hindi naman yung kasi hindi talaga makaka-compensate ng maganda yung gobyerno, ganon. So, kailangan mo talaga maghanap buhay talaga na na sa real life talaga, yung paano ka makatulong sa iba, kailangan mo din mag-earn something. Minsan ako diyan, alam mo yung naglalako ng mga gamot, ng mga balad, ano ba yun, yung rub. Ginagawa ko
okay.
yan
Yung mga pao
dati.
de arco, ganun?
V-rub. Dati, V-rub.
Okay.
Tapos, ano din ako, green barley, yung mga ganun.
Oh, mga
Marakit
food
akong tao eh.
supplement. Mga food
Mm-mm.
supplement. I see. Ako naman, before freelancing, corporate work talaga. So, I was parang talent acquisition, client management. So, yun, I did have, meron naman akong call center experience, no? For 3 years. And then, and then after that, parang talent acquisition, so recruitment, offshore. So yun siya, and then yun nga, I transitioned to freelancing, no? And then yun, I think everything went well naman. But yun, again, like shifting talaga from corporate to freelancing, medyo it's like a daunting type of decision eh. Medyo mahirap siya, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi like, oops, ano yung gagawin ko dito? Like, next month wala na akong sahod. Parang ganon. May mga ganon eh. But anyways, sa tingin nyo guys, ano yung pinaka-common misconception sa freelancing? Misconception about this business and all.
Misconception. For me, misconception is they thought, like, I thought at first call center lang siya. Parang call center setup lang pare. But then, it's really different pala na you have your own time. Hawak mo yung time mo while working. Ang nasa isip ko before talaga, call center pa rin siya. Kasi I came from a call center company. And then, right now, every time people ask me what's my work and what time am I working, and when I say, I work at home and then I work at night, they always said, call center, ganun. So they always say, call center. Yes, yun yung...
Gotcha. Alright. Actually, that's true. How about you, Sage? Ano yung parang, like...
Yung at first dyan, yung thought ko about, yung freelancing, parang walang security, parang ganon, job security. Kasi, hindi mo kakilala talaga yung katrabaho mo.
Yes.
Like, oo. Like, nasa ibang bansa sila, nasa ibang location sila. So, what if mag-run away sila, hindi ka babayaran, yung mga ganong fears.
Right. And that is definitely true, no? Actually ako, ang rami kong misconception about freelancing. Ang rami. It's just, I guess, fortunate na meron akong friend, really good friend, who was into freelancing as well. So, yung una kong misconception is call center. Akala ko call center siya. And then, yung pangalawa, English teacher. Akala ko mag-English teacher ka. So, akala ko yun yung freelancing. Or, like yung isa pa, akala ko yung freelancing lang is yung is actually yung ano ba tawag dito, mga video editor. Yun, video editor or app developer, akala ko parang pang specialist lang siya or something. So yun, those are my common misconception. And definitely, I would say that there is definitely some merit, no? In terms of, yung sinasabi nila na sometimes tatakbuhan ka.
Yes.
You have, siguro, it's more of a high level kind of discussion. It's actually a different discussion altogether, no? But what I can say is you have to position yourself na you can choose your client, no? And that is a different discussion altogether. Eh. Pero yun, that's what I learned, na ipoposition mo yung sarili mo na pwede kang pumili ng kliyente mo. And you have to kind of empower yourself na if this is not something that you will be doing, if your relationship mo sa client is not something that you think will be long-term, whether it's like a difference in opinion, a difference in work styles, maybe you can go ahead and, end the relationship already. So, parang ganun lang siya. Ang next question, ito, Ah, what made you shift to freelancing? Bakit umalis ka sa corporate business and nag-shift ka sa freelancing? So, yon.
Um, for me, what made me shift to freelancing first is it's hard to find a job last year when the pandemic started.
Mm.
So um, yun I decided to work kasi last 2018 pa lang alam ko na yung about sa freelancing. Like
Mm.
alam ko na may ganitong klaseng work kasi marami din akong kakilala na nag-work as a virtual assistant, as a SEO specialist, that they are working purely at home. So, ayun, ang isa pa na reason is I don't want to risk my health na mag-work pa rin ako sa office tapos you need to wear mask and then I'm not comfortable wearing it while working. So, yun yung mga reasons ko why I shift to freelancing.
Actually, that's very true. Um, 'Di ba, like in one of the clients that I have worked with, we actually do hiring. Nag-hire kami. And I've seen an influx. Rumami talaga yung nag-apply. Like before, when we do job posting, hindi like sparingly lang may nagme-message sa'yo and all that. Pero like last year, when the pandemic hit, ang raming nag-apply. Ang raming wanting to do freelancing because of safety reason siguro. And parang feeling ko lang, ang rami rin
Comfort.
nawalan ng trabaho. Ang rami
Yes.
ring businesses na nag-close, na nawala ng
Yes.
trabaho, and then they wanted to shift sa freelancing, but that is very true. How about you, Sidge? Like, why did you shift to freelancing?
Even before pa nag-hit yung COVID dyan, I was able to work as a freelancer na. So, yung nakita ko yung comfort na trabaho ka kahit saan, you can bring your laptop with you, pwede kang mag-travel, pwede kang pumunta sa ibang lugar, pwede mong magawa kung ano man yung dapat mong gawin at the same time working.
Gotcha.
Parang okay talaga siya.
I see. And yes, that is also one of the appeals of freelancing, no? One of the appeals of freelancing, because you can definitely work kahit saan, no?
Mm-mm.
I would often always tell this story. I was actually working when I proposed, no, to the wife,
Mm-mm.
no.
Uh-huh.
And I was working, and I proposed to the wife in Hong Kong, and yon, that freedom ba to go to wherever you wanna go, and still be able to work and still be able to be productive. Parang ang ibang klase. It's medyo sobrang liberating ng ganong feeling actually. Yun.
Mm-mm.
Ako, I made a shift to freelancing because yun, I mean, the motivation talaga is personal growth. Yun. Um, like, I was thinking, is this something that I will be doing for the rest of my life? No, parang, again, hahanapin mo talaga yung sarili mo. Like, I could have settled in a corporate situation,
Setup.
in a corporate setup. And I believe me, um, in my previous corporate setup, like, okay yung place, okay yung people, and whatnot. It's just that I kind of made a decision that maybe there's something out there, no? Something out there that I haven't tried yet, or something, no? Corporate, they have a lot of perks, and ang ganda rin. Like, there are a lot of appeal when you are in the corporate situation, no? And for me, parang I'm looking for some other things that I cannot find in the corporate setup. So yun siya, no?
Game.
All right, so guys, we cut the video a bit because we have someone here. One of our friends, David Diaz. It's also like a good friend and at the same time a good co-worker. So he decided to join us. So there, I guess this is what happens when you do like kind of live podcast, no? When you invite people, they come in. So there, thank you very much for David coming in here. Um, Actually, the question And I want to ask this question to David, no? Gusto kong tanong sa kanya to. And
Okay.
again, Dave, pwede tayong magtagalog dito. Pwede tayong magtagalog.
Oh, nice.
Yun. Like, yung podcast is really the big shift. So, this question, like, what made you shift to freelancing? Like, what made you jump from corporate to remote work? So, there.
I see. Well, thank you for that question. It's actually
Wow.
an interesting question because there's a lot of people right now thinking of shifting into freelancing, right? So actually, my big motivation in shifting into this kind of environment is my family. The reason why it's because when you're working in the freelancing industry, you're just gonna work at home, tama ba? Nasa bahay ka lang, you have your own office in your house. Also, you can do like side things. You can do like while you're working. If you're kind of bored, you can do other stuff like pagwawalis ng kung ano-ano dyan sa labas. Just to get the boredom, and then afterwards, if you're done, so go back to work. So yeah. Oh, actually, yes, that's one of my biggest motivation. My family, I can check them, what they're doing. Especially my wife is pregnant, so I need to be with her at all times. Yes, at all times. And also, the privilege of a freelancer is really really nice. First of that is you get rid of expenses.
Travel expense ba to?
Yes, travel expense.
Tsaka baon?
Especially when your office is too far from your home, so you need to like spend like 100 daily. So it's instead of spending 100 daily, you can spend that 100 buying a food. Kasi nga nasa bahay ka lang, you can buy that 100 into, you can convert that 100 into food. So ayan. Also, the time. Yes, time is gold. Ika nga nila, tama ba? So, ayun nga, you can get rid of that kanang traveling time. So, minsan, dati, nung nagtatrabaho pa ako sa corporate, yung time in ko is 8, so I need to wake up 6.
Right, the travel
So,
time.
2 hours. Oh, 2 hours. And then afterwards, like, do my own stuff. And then traveling time ko talaga is 1 hour kasi yung bahay namin napakalayo sa office. So, yung barangay kasi nila Carl, yung barangay namin next sa barangay nila Carl. So, ayun, medyo malayo-layo. So, ayun, I was able to get rid of that traveling time because that's one of the privilege working at home or working freelance. So, that's one of the best privilege that you can have in this industry. And also, the last one that I could say is the salary.
Okay,
The salary.
let's talk
Yes.
about that. Bakit?
Yeah, because working here in the Philippines, you got underpaid. Let's say my profession is accounting. So the workload of accounting is too much compared to the salary if we're gonna compare. But that's Philippines, it's more fun in the Philippines. So that's how it is. But then, ako yung tao na, no, I need to find some ways. I need to find some ways na kikita ko ng malaki na yung workload ko hindi siya mako-compromise ba. Kasi nako-compromise sa accounting industry yung salary mo. Ang bigat-bigat ng trabaho mo, may overtime ka pa, hindi mo na-enjoy yung time mo. Tapos, yung salary mo, pangbili lang ng bigas, walang pang merienda. So sa working at home or sa freelance, you have your own, not really you have your own time, but you have the hold of your time. Second is you get the hold of your family. I mean, you have the time for your family.
Tama.
Third, you get rid of the travel time and also traveling expense. And lastly, you have a good salary na fit sa workload mo. that's one of the best. Those are, I could say, those are the biggest privileges
Appeal.
that you could have
Ah,
working online.
right.
Even though na yung trabaho ko is too far from my profession, but I did not regret it.
Okay.
Hindi ko talaga pinagsisisihan.
Nice.
Na, especially that I am here in Summit, I am in the good hands. I am, kumbaga,
Okay.
kung isa akong baka, nasa green ako na mga pasture. Kumakain ng
You're in greener
lusog.
pasture.
Oo.
Okay,
Greener
got
pasture.
it. Got it.
Looking aside though, yes, that's it. That's my answer with the
Not bad, not
question.
bad. You know what? I
Thank you.
think those are really very good topics, no, for like a whole different discussion, no. Parang the salary between corporate and salary of being on freelance, like which is which, or privileges of being in a freelance environment versus being in a corporate situation. Yun. So actually, next question, medyo ito mainit-init, no?
Sige. Gusto ko
Why
yan.
will you not, no? Like if you will not recommend freelancing, like why? Why will you not? Ano yung reasons why you will not recommend freelancing?
Okay. So, for example, if you have if you have a boss that is very very diligent in checking on you on your job, that's one of the that's one of my on my checklist that I will not recommend freelance, because for me, when I have a boss that is keep on looking or checking on me, it seems like my boss doesn't have any like belief in my
Trust.
job, believe
Okay.
in what I can do.
Uh-uh.
Tama ba? Kasi nakakainis kapag may taong parating chumacheck sa'yo sa trabaho mo, bakit mo pa ako hinire kung wala ka man lang believe sa work ko? Di ba, I have undergone series of interview. You've checked my profile, you've checked everything in me, so you should have believe on your employee. So that's one of my on my checklist if I'm not gonna like recommend freelance.
Okay.
Second is if, for example, when your environment or your location is not suitable for working
Okay.
freelance.
Okay, got it. Got it.
For instance, yung mga kapitbahay mo, mga Korean. What I mean with that is marami
Okay.
nagsisigawan.
Okay,
Diba?
okay.
That's not discrimination. That's a joke, though. Okay.
Okay, got it.
So ayun, parating nagsisigawan or they have pets with them. So hindi naman natin kailangan na pagsabihan na, hey, you need to shut up your mouth or you need to get rid of your dogs. No, it's not. That's they're entitled with that, tama ba? So yan, isang big factor ang location mo. Second is your environment. Tama ba? So pag ang environment mo is medyo maingay, nasa malapit ka ng kalsada, kapangit naman di ba you're working freelancing and then you're doing a meeting with your boss and then ang daming background noise. So it's kind of annoying on their part. So ayan, hindi ko medyo mara-recommend. That's one of second or third on my list na hindi ko ra-recommend sa iyo ang pag-working at home or working freelancing.
So basically, parang,
next to that, medyo interesting to na tanong bakit hindi ko i-recommend? Kasi ako ang hilig ko kasing mag-recommend sa mga tao kung ano yung maganda. No? Kasi na-experience ko, napapaisip ako. Magandang question to. Siguro, when you are this so-called tamad, when you are irresponsible, I could say.
Yes, I agree to that because you have like in freelancing, like I think that resonates sa sinasabi mo na parang constantly check ka, no?
Yes.
Kasi in freelancing, you will be working remote. And
Yes,
you will
exactly.
be accountable talaga sa trabaho mo.
Yes.
So yun, I mean, kung ano talaga yung trabaho mo, you really have to work on it. Because
Exactly.
otherwise, next month, pag hindi mo ginawa ng maayos yung trabaho mo, baka next month,
Wala ka na.
Wala ka na.
sweldo.
Yes. Oo. Ayun, you need to be responsible. Huwag kang tamad sa trabaho mo. If you're working freelancing, you need to be accountable sa lahat ng ginagawa mo. And also with your co-worker. Ayun. And lastly, naisip ko lang to, yung pagkasabi mo dyan. Ayan, actually, one of the biggest disadvantage working online is bigla-bigla ka na lang mawawalan ng trabaho. Ayan. Kaya sabi mo kanina, di ba, next month wala ka ng trabaho. Yeah,
Yes.
may reason bakit nawalan ka ng trabaho. It's because hindi mo ginawa yung trabaho mo na maayos. May instance din na kahit ginawa mo yung trabaho mo ng maayos, kasi hindi lang Pinoy ang scammer.
Oh, okay. Right.
Pati rin employer. Scammer din minsan
Yes.
yung mga employer. Kasi pagka ginagawa nila, may output ka na maganda. Napasa mo yung output mo maganda. Ngayon, hindi ka na nila babalikan.
Tatakbuhan ka na.
Tatakbuhan na nila yung output mo maganda.
Actually, yun nga, no, we were talking about that earlier, like, yung mga misconceptions, and definitely, yes, it does happen. Nangyayari
Yeah.
talaga yon in this environment, that like, on my experience, no, I have never encountered that. I have never encountered that personally. However, I've heard and I have read yung mga horror stories posted online in certain groups. May mga ganon, no? And if siguro, yun, sabi nga ni David, if may maingay yung background mo, marapit ka ng karsada, I think those are situations that it is not necessarily conducive working in at home.
Yes.
Especially if you are like what you call voice
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Voice accounts.
Voice account.
No? Voice, yun. So, call center-ish and whatnot. So, yun. How about you, Clay? Like, why will you not recommend freelancing?
For me, I will not recommend freelancing if you are not brave to learn, especially the language. Because actually, I have a lot of friends that are very interested in working at home. And whenever I recommend this one, or like maybe if they're interested, they always ask me like, need ba mag-English? Sabi ko, yes. You really need to speak in English kasi nga English is the international language. You really need to learn how to speak it kahit na hindi talaga fluent American accent, as long as conversational. I always told them that. And then if you are not ready, then I won't recommend working freelancing. Kasi nga, some of them are like, pang matalino lang yan, ganyan-ganyan. Siguro, no, na like language is not the measurement of knowledge, or according nga sabi nila. Pero sabi ko, you need to learn first the language. That's the first step when you want to work freelancing. So if you don't want to learn, then I won't recommend freelancing to you.
I think no, in terms of freelancing / outsourcing, yes. English more often than not is the medium of communication.
Yes.
No? There are also other forms of freelancing kasi, like, let's say you're a freelance pero yung clients mo is local. No?
Yes.
Right? Example, like photographer, wedding photographer, that's also freelancer. That's also freelancing, but your clients are local. But when we say outsource freelancing, most often than not, katrabaho natin are Westerners.
Yes.
And the medium of instruction is definitely English. Like, how about you, Sige? If you will not recommend freelancing, what are the reasons?
So, Jan, basically, yun nga, dapat, when you enter into freelancing, you need to be, dapat equipped ka din ng, first, the very basic, yun nga, yung English mo, dapat marunong ka. Somehow, maiintindihan ka ng magiging kausap mo. So, also, one of the biggest challenges siguro na, if you decide yourself na pumasok sa ganun, sa freelancing, dapat, yung internet connection mo, yun yung bloodline mo.
Correct.
And then also, yung magandang, at least gumaganang computer. Then after that, you are good to go.
Yeah. I agree, no? I agree. Like it's really very hard to work in an outsourcing remote kind of situation wherein you don't have an internet connection, like a stable
Yeah.
internet connection, like a stable power source. Because yun nga, like we've seen it all. We've seen it. Like tayong lahat, nakita na natin yan. Nagmi-meeting, biglang nag-brown out. And sometimes, pag 4 times a day nagba-brown out, medyo hindi na siya maganda, no? In terms of sa perception ni kliyente. Sometimes. Or more often than not. Internet din, no? Ako, I will not recommend freelancing if you're not, if siguro if you're the type of person who has a certain view of work, if you are that type of person who is really super comfortable and really super into corporate structure. Kasi in a corporate setting, it has been practiced, it has been refined, it has been recreated, and yun super structure, may structure na talaga yung corporate environment. And if you are someone who enjoys being there, if you feel na this is the kind of environment that I will be, no? Then I cannot necessarily recommend freelancing for you. Kasi when you shift to freelancing, you have to take care of what? Your health insurance. That's definitely, you have to do it yourself. You have to file your own taxes. No? You have to take care of your own internet. You have to take care of your electricity. You have to take care of your infrastructure, your computer, your mic, your headset, and whatnot. So, as someone that will be shifting to the freelancing business, especially outsource, and especially if you have a client na medyo you'll have meetings like 3 times a day, and yun, I think if you're not willing to do the grind do the grind building your infrastructure, doing those things that I just mentioned, I think freelancing may not be for you. Yun,
Yes.
right? Second to the last, guys, topic. Why will you recommend freelancing? So
Ayun.
Loren, like why? I think Dave, you have something to say.
Well, yeah. Kasi yan yung question. Actually, the question earlier was very good, especially like what you said na kapag you are into corporate, na kapag you want with people, you want to be with a group of people, ayan, hindi talaga para sa iyo ang freelancing. Pero, ang masasabi ko lang is, or bakit ko i-recommend ng freelancing to you is, here, kahit na wala kang physical na kasama, pero you got this kind of setup. You have people also with you, especially in the meetings. It's actually nice get to know each other virtually. Tama ba?
Yes.
For example, nung napasok ako dito, kapag may nakikilala akong bago, nire-research ko yan sa Facebook, chine-check ko yung, ito nga pala si CJ, ito nga pala ito si Kwan, si ganyan. So, ayun. Tsaka, ayun nga, actually, ang daming things na pwede mong makuha working remotely or working freelancing for the Western. Ang masasabi ko lang talaga is that yung stress na nakukuha mo sa corporate is hindi mo talaga makukuha dito sa freelancing. Ayan, yung word na stress, because in this present generation, the word stress is very evident na. Diba? Lahat na, kahit nga elementary, dati tayo yung word na stress, hindi pa natin yan alam, di ba? Nung nasa elementary tayo, high school.
Maliit pa tayo.
Feeling ko, na-learn ko yung stress na word nung nagtrabaho ako eh. Like,
yes, ako rin. Yan ko lang nalaman yung word na yan. But right now, even elementary or high school pips, no? They already know the word stress because that word is very evident. So, ayan ang hindi ko nakukuha dito. The reason why is that I love working freelancing, even though that it's too far from my profession back then.
Profession.
Yes, I graduated accountancy, and currently I'm working here. Speaking English and whatnot. Actually, I agree with Clay na kailangan mo talagang maging malakas, maging brave. You need to accept the fact that you need to learn.
Yes.
Because education is a continuous process. I learned a lot of things here. So, ayan, ito pa. Biglang sumagi sa kukote ko.
Okay, gotcha.
Na, ayan, kapag ka nagtatrabaho ka online, especially for the Western, you get to learn their culture.
Yes.
That's one of the best thing. Ayan, I-recommend kung ikaw yung tipo na tao na gusto mong maka-learn ng culture ng iba, sa online ka pumasok. Ayan, mal-learn free yung pag-learn mo ng culture nila. Unlike sa iba, they need to study their culture. But here, it's free because your client will try to try to impart their culture to you because they want you to understand their culture. Tama ba? Kasi para may mutual understanding, hindi nagkakagulo-gulo ang mga kasi minsan may hindi pagkakaintindihan, yung culture natin magkaiba sa culture nila. So ayun. So that's one of the nice thing working remotely or working for the Americans or for the other nation.
You have that actually that's very true because I hindi ko alam what's the right term for it, but when you're working directly with the boss, so to speak,
Yes.
with the CEO, let's say the founder, there's that sort of intimacy or connection that you're building talaga with the person.
Yes.
And sometimes it's intoxicating eh. It's like, wow, I'm working with the CEO, like I'm working with this guy and we're making a business together. Parang ganun,
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Like it's intoxicating. There is that factor that yung konting contribution mo, ang laki ng impact niya pala.
Means a lot to them. Mm-mm.
Yes.
Yes, true.
Actually, yung konting ginagawa mo na parang you perfect that specific process or whatnot, ang laki ng impact. Ang laki ng impact. Totoo yan. How about you, Clay?
Yeah, for me, why will I recommend freelancing? So I have 5 reasons. So
Okay.
first is comfort, because I'm an introvert and I'm not really into being with a group of people, especially those hyper energetic human beings. So I'm not really into with them. So I can't keep up with them when it comes to socializing. So that's one of the reasons I'm really comfortable here alone. I'm all good alone here. And then second, family time. You get to do your work, and then your siblings will be at your back playing. Then you get to see them very happy. And third, hawak mo yung oras mo. Yun na nga, kasi nga, you'll be able to have family time. Fourth is the salary, of course. Andyan na talaga. Yan talaga yung the best reason. Kasi nga, salary here is bigger. Yeah. And then the last one is the most important. It's really important to me, which is the continuous learning and growth.
Right.
Which is, hindi lahat yan yung hinahanap sa isang work eh. Kasi yung iba, they only work for salary. For me kasi, I want to work freelancing because I know I will continue to learn. Unlike when I was working in a corporate before, I don't know if I'm learning.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
so that's the reason or why will I recommend freelancing.
Right. Gotcha. How about you, Sidge?
Na-mention na yata nila lahat eh. But for me talaga dyan, kung i-base mo talaga yung freelancing into local jobs, corporate jobs, maganda talaga ino-offer dito. At saka pwede kang magkaroon ng 2 boss, 3 boss, pwede kang mag-add ng work mo.
You
Depende
can
sa
do multiple
kakayahan mo lang
clients,
talaga.
right? That is so true,
Mm-mm.
right? That is so
Yes.
true. And that I think that is something na hindi pa natin na-discuss, right? Like it was not
Mm-mm.
inserted in this like call, but yes, no, there are situations wherein you will really have multiple clients if your time and your effort can accommodate, no? So yun,
Mm-mm.
yes.
So you got the freedom there, tsaka
Mm-mm.
flexibility na gawin yung mga bagay. At the same time, you are really earning really good.
Okay,
So I would
gotcha.
really recommend it.
Yes, yes. Definitely, again, yun, I think like the compensation package, we can definitely discuss that on a, like, I feel that that is a separate discussion in itself, no? But that's really a very good point, no? For me, why will I recommend freelancing? Um, Honestly, if you asked me like several years ago, hindi ko alam yung isasagot ko. Hindi ko talaga alam yung isasagot ko. But one thing I know now that I did not know then here in freelancing, like this is my own personal experience. It's very dynamic. It's very dynamic and actually parang ang rami mong pwedeng gawin, no? You can definitely go ahead and um be yourself or recreate yourself, be something that you want to be. And I like the excitement of building something. No, that has been my work like for the longest time. I like the excitement of building something, implementing something, doing something, and like seeing it all come together. That is for me. That is, if you're that kind of person, I can definitely recommend freelancing to you. Definitely. So yon, right? And that is it, right? That is it for me. One last question, guys. So, in terms of freelancing, like, what are your goals in the future? Clay.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a tricky question for me.
Uh-uh.
Um, okay. So what's my goal in the future? So in 5 years, I want to be successful, of course, and specifically, I want to like my goal is to like build lot of connections here in virtual community, and I want to have my own business. Of course, it's like a digital marketing. I don't know, so that's just my goal, and then of course I want to be um, like um,
Kaya mo yan.
I want to grow. I want to like learn more skills. That's my goal. So hopefully in the future, or maybe in 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years, I hope I already have those skill sets that I'm planning to learn.
Gotcha. Okay, so definitely the learning, right? And
Yes.
yes, that is so true. Like because this environment is so dynamic, at least in our own environment, no, it's so dynamic. It's ever changing because like majority of the work that you do play is like for emerging businesses, for startups, right? So
Yes.
it's really dynamic and actually you get to learn a lot. Ang rami mong natututunan on how to build a business. Especially
Yeah.
if your boss is someone who is doing startup, like ang rami mong matututunan. Sobra. How about you, David? Like, what's your goal in the future?
Yeah, for the next like 5 to 10 years. Yeah, one of that is learn more skills. Learn more skills. That's one of my goal because I'm kind of person that I won't settle for this. Second is like Clay, I want to build connection virtually, especially in this environment. Also, small business because what I've got in this industry is or in this environment is I want also to help other people get a job. So if I'm not able to like recommend a job for them, why not I'll be the one who's giving a job for them. So
Wow.
ayan. A
Wow,
business,
not bad.
any business as long as it's legal. But more likely, I want to have like a buy and sell business,
Right.
local
Local.
produce. Um,
Nice.
yeah, and also I want to be a successful father for my family. That's one of
Yun.
my goal. Yes.
Yun. Definitely,
Um,
right?
I think that's all for now. But I believe that my goal is like it's kind of also dynamic. It's ever
Mm,
changing. It depends on the situation. But yeah, those
right.
are my what they call this concrete goals. Yeah.
Okay, long-term goals. How about you? Ikaw, CJ, ano yung mga goals mo like in the future?
Mhm. So, John first talaga, I want to be financially stable talaga in order for
Stability.
me to help.
Oo.
Tapos, yun nga, like, freelancing will be the new trend na talaga after pandemic hits us. Ito na talaga yung trend na yung working from home, yung ganitong setup. So at least in the next few years, in the next um, years na tayo, may mga skill sets na tayo na na-develop along the way. Nasa process na tayo. So by that time, siguro tayo na mismo yung nagtiteach, tayo na mismong
Mm,
nag-endorse ng something sa susunod.
right.
So aside na makatulong tayo sa ibang tao, we are also earning naman na maganda. Same time, in that scenario as well, makakapag-help tayo sa iba.
Nice, nice one. That's definitely something like your thing, Sage, 'di ba? Parang public
Mhm.
service, no? So
Oo.
definitely yes, that's a good way of putting it. So for me, like my goal, like to really build something, no? To really build something. I don't know where that goal will take me, but I want to build something, and this is actually one of the beauty of freelancing for me because I learned a lot of skills, techniques, and processes. And at the same time, I kind of learned the craft of building the business. So yun siya. And ang rami mong nakilala, ang rami mong natutunan, and I believe that it will all culminate into something. No, I hope to be my own man as well. I hope to do something with my time in the future and whatnot. So there, that is my long-term goal talaga, no? And definitely freelancing has played a huge part in the formation of that dream, right? The formation of that goal. Ang laki ng naitulong niya. And right now, I'm definitely starting with it, doing something about it. So there. And I think that is it, guys, right? No, thank you so much for being here. Um, Carl, CJ, David,
Thank you.
all right, so let me go ahead and just say goodbye to our viewers. Guys, thank you again for watching our content here in our long format content in HuStrat. The links to our social media accounts will be indicated in the link below. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this long format content. Okay? And once again, this is Jan. Have a great day and thank you so much for your time. Bye.